Gentlemen, welcome back. It is June 23rd, 2020, 1:19 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we are looking at our earthquake chart right now. And about an hour and a half ago, we had a major earthquake in southern Mexico. In fact, this is southeast of Oaxaca, Mexico, which we can actually zoom in on. I got Google Earth pulled up. We could see the 7.4 magnitude earthquake downgraded from a 7.7, as we can see right here on the tsunami warning page here. There's actually a tsunami warning with this. It was a little bigger. It did reach down into South America, and now they're kind of sticking it closer to Mexico and Central America. The threat is a 0.3 to 1 meter wave. For those of you that don't know how big that is, this is an older video from a 3 meter tsunami wave that hit in Indonesia a few years ago. Now, this is just 3 feet of water. I want to show you guys. So anything between a meter and 3 meters is anywhere from 3 to 9 feet. So you got to keep that in mind. Just a little bit of water goes a long way. I'm not saying for sure that there will be a tsunami with this earthquake, but it certainly set off enough buoys. We could see both in the Atlantic and the Pacific Oceans. We have triggered tsunami buoys, one in the Gulf, 2 closer to the Leeward Islands, just north of the Leeward Islands, near Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, and then we have the Pacific Ocean right here, which is actually the closest buoy to where the epicenter of the earthquake was. There have been small reports of damage and power outages already due to this quake. I do have a few pictures I could possibly show you guys. We'll read a little bit of this really quick. The coast of southern Mexico was rattled by a powerful earthquake on Tuesday morning that triggered a tsunami alert for Pacific coastlines along Central America. The USGS said that the quake had a preliminary magnitude of 7.4 and struck around 11:29 a.m. Eastern Time, 7 miles west of Santa Maria, Mexico. The trembler had a depth of about 20 miles, so it was 20 miles in depth, which actually probably helped the surface of that area not cause a lot more damage, or a lot of damage that potentially could have been a lot worse than what it was. There are pictures of damage and stuff like that. Here's the shake map. This definitely triggered areas as far as 500 miles outside of the epicenter of the quake. So we could see all these areas into the Gulf were affected. That's why we saw those tsunami buoys being set off in the Gulf of Mexico, as opposed to the closer ocean of the Pacific Ocean. Based on where this is, you can kind of see how it's kind of thin right here in southern Mexico, in Central America. This part of the land gets really thin here, and then we have the Gulf of Mexico. So it makes sense why that switched over. Something interesting I want to bring up to you guys. I have a list here from my phone of the most significant earthquakes of this year, and we could see how it kind of started in January. That's the beginning of the earthquake year. And then as we get into recent, we had 5:15, 6.5, the Monte Cristo, Nevada earthquake. I want you to keep that in mind, because for those of you that have been following the channel, we do have a very significant planet alignment that's currently going on. We have talked about this a few times, but in 2017, I posted this video after finding a planet alignment that I thought was pretty significant. Not making any predictions here. It's very possible that planet alignments cause the surface of the Earth to actually be affected. This could be volcanoes, earthquakes, you name it. The magnetic pole of these planets lined up in one area, especially in one quadrant of the sun, is very unique, especially a lineup like this. And it's possible that these things can cause actual earthquakes. Now that we're moving into this alignment right here, which was we posted this 2 years ago. July 4th is actually the day of the alignment. Are we seeing earthquakes in relation to this planet alignment, or is this total coincidence? Now, we can go to 30 days, the last 30 days of significant worldwide earthquakes, and we can kind of see over the last 5 or 6 days, our 2 biggest earthquakes have struck. So on the 18th, we had that one near New Zealand, the 7.4 that just struck 5 days ago, and then again another 7.4 downgraded from 7.7 in southern Mexico here. We also have this earthquake, the Indonesia earthquake, 6.4. This was on June 4th. So again, these are all within the last 30 days, and they just happen to be the biggest and most significant earthquakes of this year, besides the 7.7 that hit in Jamaica. In fact, let's see when that was. Okay, yes, so the 7.7 in Jamaica was on January 28th, so that doesn't really qualify. I guess it could if you look at it in a broad time scheme, but in the last 3 or 4 months, we've had the most significant earthquakes of this year. And I'm just curious to see if it has anything to do with these planet alignments or anything like that. So we're going to keep an eye on this video, definitely, because we're getting close to that time, the July 4th, 2020 date, which is only about a week and a half away, so it's definitely worth watching. Here is a shot about 25 miles outside of the epicenter of the earthquake itself. I don't want to get too crazy with the pictures, only because of copyright stuff. We could see the bricks and stuff, the typical pictures of the bricks off the building. This was in that area. I know a lot of these pictures get faked. Not many deaths or anything like that being reported as of right now. Again, this happened about an hour and a half ago, so still fairly new information, and we're still devouring whether or not there's going to be a tsunami with this. Like I said, they did have a warning down here in South America. So it was following the entire western coast of Central America, South America, and then into Mexico. And now that warning is still right about here, right where you see this buoy setting off currently. Really quick before I let you guys know, the NWS Tsunami Alerts Twitter page actually posted that it was a 7.7, and the tsunami was not expected. So that is good to know, even though they're specifically talking about California, Oregon, Washington, in those areas closer to the U.S., those are not going to be affected. That's very far up north. Here's those two pictures we were just talking about. So there is information and videos here on Twitter for those of you that want to check them out. Again, I don't want to play them because of copyright reasons, but that's all the info I have right now as far as this earthquake goes. Again, an official 7.4 earthquake strikes Mexico 5 days after the New Zealand earthquake, which was also 7.4, striking on the other side of the Pacific. So let's keep an eye out, guys. I'll have a weather video out there, too. We got a huge sand plume coming off the west coast of Africa, one of the biggest we've seen in about 50 years. We're going to see how this is going to affect our weather, our vision, you know what I mean? Like long-term vision, sunsets, sunrises, things like that, all get affected by the sand. And we'll check that out shortly, and we'll look at what other weather we have coming as well. All right, guys, thank you so much for hanging out. We will be talking about this earthquake in a little bit, and I hope everyone has a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Be safe.